So next up, I'm very, very, very pleased to introduce Asyia Kazmi, who is the Global Education Policy Lead at the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Asyia began her career as a mathematics teacher, go figure. I think there's a theme of math running through this event, and has over 20 years of experience in education in the UK and in international development. She joined the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation in December of 2018 as a lead for global education policy and strategy. It's my pleasure to welcome Asyia. Asyia.
So thank you very much for the opportunity. What I wanted to do was to take this opportunity to talk a little bit about what our focus in the global education at the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is, and what how we focus our attention in the global education space is to really think about the statistics that 9 in 10 children in high-income countries can read by the age of 10, and in low-income countries, 9 out of 10 children can't. So when we look at that, we have a focus on public goods with an emphasis on research, data, and innovation. And there is a small role of technology when we within it when we look at the classroom practices level. And so what's the purpose of technology in foundation literacy and numeracy? There's an aspect of teacher development, so teacher content knowledge, teacher pedagogical knowledge, and supporting them in their lesson preparation. And then there's the teaching aspect. So when I'm in front of the classroom, what are the technology resources that I can use? And yesterday there was the launch of the Brookings report when they talked about the role of technology in scaling up effective instructional practices. And currently in the COVID environment, the role of low technology as well as technology is obviously coming to the fore. So the distance learning, the impact of radio, the use of things like WhatsApp, and the blended learning model. And the second aspect is a real focus on learner-facing technology, but an emphasis on equity in terms of where there's reach, who is benefiting from it, and solutions like adaptive learning software and the role of technology in really making learning happen. And when we're listening to Carmen talking about the science of learning really being useful in how technology equips learners with the skills that we're looking for, as well as in assessment, gamification of assessment, looking at the role of formative assessment, as well as summative assessment. So interesting work going on there. The second point I wanted to really emphasize was the integration of pedagogy with technology and thinking about it at the system level. So when I was a teacher, what we were quite pioneering some time ago, but the school was quite pioneering. We ended up with a personalized a PAL software in class, where I had to then think about what is my role if 30 of my kids are facing one-to-one on a computer, and then splitting the class up. So I was able to teach some of the kids more intensively while the others were on the online systems available. Online system. So thinking about how the pedagogy, what is the outcome of technology is really important, how it's comprehensively linked to the curriculum, to the assessment on teacher training, and considering the whole, the solution that is teaching to the whole, but also is differentiating, and how and certainly in the COVID environment, the social and emotional aspect of learning, and what is technology's role in making that more, facilitating that more. And finally, on the systems level, how do we support teachers to be using the technology that is effective, that has been proven? So implementation support. Teachers will not use software if it's or hardware if it's too complicated to set up, or if it breaks down. And what's the full cost of that solution? So moving on to how we our focus on technology and how it fits in with the improving instructional practices is we're thinking about the supply shaping aspect. Are the solutions and the kind of things that you're seeing in the symposium, are they able to be accessed by those 9 out of 10 children who are in the poor category, who aren't able to read and write and do simple maths? How are girls benefiting from that technology? And so when those developers are thinking about the markets that we care about. There is the alignment with the national curriculum. There's the aspect of translation of content, but not just the language translation, the context translation that makes those products accessible to the students. And then the evidence curation. There is so much out there. How do you make sense of it? How do you, if you're making an investment as a policymaker, how do you know where to invest and how to compare like with like? So supporting, working with the EdTech Hub in looking at how you compare products and how you get that information to inform policy making. And finally, support to government in terms of not just the hardware procurement, but the software procurement. And what is it governments need to be able to make evidence-informed decisions, but also to be able to procure software and to manage the performance of the providers as they as governments are seeking to improve learning outcomes. So thank you very much for the opportunity to talk here and for persevering with the technology glitch. And I hope you have a really good symposium and enjoy the many products that are on offer.
Asyia, thank you so much. And yeah, thank you very much for that.